News 5 at noon is being brought to you by Insurance Corporation of Belize, serving Belize for 40 years.
Good afternoon, Belize. It's midday and you're tuned into the news at noon, where we bring you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Isani Cayetano, and here's what's making headlines today. Belize and UN forge stronger ties to boost resilience and development. U.S. bill threatens Belize's BPO boom. Beltrade urges industry to adapt. Peak outsourcing pushes to hire 500 Belizeans amid U.S. outsourcing concerns. And fatal stabbing in Bella Vista. A suspect is in police custody. These stories are coming up in just 1 minute.
When I was a student, ICB was there to protect me, ensuring my education and future. When I got my first car, ICB was there to protect me, providing excellent coverage and peace of mind on the road. When we moved into our first apartment, ICB was there to protect us, securing our belongings and giving us a sense of security. And when we got our first house, ICB was there for us, protecting our home and everything we've worked so hard for.
At every step of your life's journey, ICB is there for you. For more information, call 224-5328 or visit our nearest branch.
Welcome back. In a move aimed at boosting national resilience and strengthening international ties, Minister Henry Charles Usher welcomed top UN officials to Belmopan yesterday for a high-level coordination meeting. The gathering, held at the Ministry of the Public Service, Governance and Disaster Risk Management, brought together Minister Usher, UN Resident Coordinator Raul Salazar, and Deputy Coordinator Michael Lund. The goal of the meeting was to strengthen Belize's partnership with the United Nations and identify opportunities for impactful national projects. Among the key topics on the table were good governance, disaster risk management, and aligning Belize's efforts with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Minister Usher expressed heartfelt gratitude for the UN's continued support, emphasizing the importance of building resilient communities, especially in the face of climate change. Salazar echoed that sentiment, reaffirming the UN's commitment to working hand-in-hand with Belize to tackle shared challenges like disaster preparedness and modernizing public services. He also shared his excitement about upcoming initiatives designed to deliver real tangible benefits to Belizeans. Also present was National Emergency Coordinator Daniel Mendez, who stressed the need to weave emergency management strategies into future projects. The meeting wrapped up with a strong commitment from all parties to keep the lines of communication open and continue working together on projects that will make a meaningful difference for the people of Belize. Belize's BPO industry is booming, but a new U.S. bill could shake things up. The Keep Call Centers in America Act aims to keep jobs on U.S. soil by making it harder for companies to outsource. If passed, U.S. firms would have to report overseas outsourcing and could lose access to federal grants and loans for 5 years unless they bring back jobs home. That's a potential blow to Belize, where over 16,000 people work in call centers. Beltrade's Executive Director, Ishmael Quiroz, says it's a concern, but also a chance for Belize to diversify, upskill, and stay competitive.
It's certainly something that we need to monitor with concern to see how things pan out. We know that things are generally fluid in this regard in terms of the various policies coming out of the U.S. So certainly looking at it carefully. However, in discussing closely with the sector, we understand that Belize doesn't necessarily stand to be directly impacted, at least not immediately. There are ways in which we are protected. For example, the fact that most of our BPOs are private entities and not necessarily dependent or accessing federal funding, and other aspects in terms of the diversification of their clientele. So we're looking at engaging closely with the sector. We know that employment is not increasingly dependent on the BPO sector in Belize, and so we'll certainly do our very best to ensure that they're aware of potential impacts. But I think what's very important is that we're all calm and stay assured that our sector it continues to grow and there's a lot of potential in it still.
Peak Outsourcing is quickly becoming a major player in Belize's booming BPO industry. Currently, the company is on a mission to employ 500 Belizeans by the end of the year. A new U.S. bill could make it harder for American companies to outsource jobs overseas, and that's got some people wondering if now is the right time to jump into the sector. The bill sweetens the deal for U.S. firms to keep jobs at home, offering grants and loans if they stay stateside. So what does that mean for Belize? We sat down with Naeem Polanco, talent acquisition specialist at Peak Outsourcing, to get his take on the situation.
When I first heard the news, it was a bit scary, but I was able to understand the whole policy that they are trying to implement in the U.S. One of the things that we have, and one of the positive things we have here in Belize, is that most of our BPOs are private. They are based in the Philippines. For most of them. I believe that what the U.S. is trying to do is just cut on the federal grant companies who are having access to that federal grant and ensuring that they can actually get back those jobs into the U.S. because they're getting federal grants. But I don't foresee Belize being affected much because most of our companies are private owned and based somewhere else rather than in the U.S. While we might have some branches, like Peak North America, our base is in the Philippines, and that's where most of our activities are held, in the Philippines. We have over 1,000 employees globally, and I would say more than 50% are based in the Philippines. And of course, in Belize, we're trying to grow it to over 500 agents. So I don't foresee the industry being affected much here in Belize.
A deadly confrontation in Bella Vista village has left the community shaken. On Tuesday afternoon, 40-year-old Franklin Arenevar, a construction worker from El Salvador, was fatally stabbed during a heated dispute. According to reports, Arenevar got into an argument with a man known only as Chavo, who accused him of stealing items from his father. Things escalated quickly, a knife was pulled, and Arenevar was stabbed and left for dead. Chavo fled the scene, but was later picked up by police. He's now in custody as investigators work to piece together what led to the violent encounter. That's a wrap for the news at noon. But don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit greaterbelize.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes tomorrow morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon.
News 5 at noon was brought to you by Insurance Corporation of Belize, serving Belize for 40 years.
I'm Brittany, one of the newest faces around here. My stories are heartfelt and bring a fresh perspective. On the job, there is no challenge too great. Flooded highways, raging fires, or asking tough questions. My determination and willingness to connect with people help to deliver stories that put you, our viewers, at the forefront of issues. My motto? Accurate, timely, and relevant. I am News 5.